the next thing we want to get working is the screen. There's a couple steps here. The first thing is we need a library to talk to the screen. So we're going to go to our Sketch, Include Library, and then we're going to go to Manage Libraries. And if we wait a second, it should. Why isn't it bringing it up? Oh, there it goes. It's just being slow. I'm going to take a second for to update the library index. Once it brings up, we're going to search specifically for the chip name and the display name. So the chip is a ESP8266 and the display is an SSD1306. So ESP8266. And it's gonna take a second. This computer is really slow. Space SSD1306. Any luck, they should bring up the exact thing we want. So we're gonna go scroll down looking for, aha, there we go. ESP8266 and ESP32 OLED driver for SSD 1306 displays. I'm gonna click install. This will take one moment for us to do its thing. So now let's go to the top of our code and we're add an include to give us access to it. We're going to do pound include quote SSD 1306 .h quote, and then to create an instance of the display that we can talk to. So it's going to be 1306 base display. And to create this way, we need to pass it the location and what its addresses in the pins. The address is OXC3C, which is a hex address for the I2C protocol. Doesn't really matter. Get these magic numbers, and we should have access to it. I'm going to go look at my code further down because I am not smart enough to remember all this stuff. So now I'm going to go to my setup. And we're going to start up the communication for it. So display init. That's going to turn on the display. And then we're going to do a quick test run to make sure we get something on the screen. So we're going to do display set font. I'm going to use a font I know works. There might be other ones. We can go look online. But right now, let's keep it easy. MT underscore plain underscore 10. It's going to be kind of small because it's going to be 10 pixels tall. We're going to then pass it something to draw to the screen. So we're going to do display draw string. And we're going to pass it a coordinate where we want to run the screen. Let's go 5, 5. So it'd be 5 pixels in and 5 pixels down. And we're going to draw some sort of text. So I'm going to say, right, hello, screen. And at this point, and then to actually display it, we need to display dot display. this actually draws to the screen. So setup, draw. Now it's not going to do anything in the loop, and we still have our blink stuff in the loop. It doesn't really matter. Let's take and upload it and hope it doesn't have a problem. Again, I'm going to pause while it compiles. So I respooted, and I've moved our screen down a little bit. I'm going to play with the. There we go. Hello screen. It actually wrote to it. So now let's do something with the buttons so we can actually test stuff. So instead of this, we're going to say if up is high, let's take and clear the display. Actually, before that, let's set the text alignment. So before we do this, let's add one more thing because I forgot to do that. Display set text alignment. Text align enter. If we output that, I'm going to pause again while I did have to make one small change. I misspelled. I put an H instead of N here, and you'll see it right off the screen. So we have to actually pass it to the center of the screen for it to make sense. So I believe this is a 128 by 64, so we're going to pass it X of, we're going to pass this 32, and we'll come back to that in a moment. Let's continue writing code because I don't feel like watching it compile again. So if up, instead of writing the LED high, we're going to take and do display clear. That's going to wipe display clean. And then we're going to display draw during 32, 5, up. And let's steal this code from ourselves. Control C, Control V, Control V. Now we're going to copy this code. Control C, Control V, Control V. We're going to do down, select, down, down, select, select. So this should show us what we press on the screen. So let us take and re-upload it, at which point I'll pause the video. So I wrote the code. I've noticed one mistake where I had an extra curly bracket here, which I deleted. And now I know I have another problem because I forgot to call display to display. Also, it's a 128 by 64 screen. I looked it up. But if I press the up arrow, down, nothing happened because I never draw it. So let's go and fix a couple things. Let's make this 4, 64, 64, and let's add a display that display after each of these. In fact, we probably should do this before the delay because that will make sure that we always update the display no matter what. And I'll pause the video while it compiles. So we have to still have some issues with our thing. So if I press down, nothing happens. If I press up, so pressing select, pressing down changes the down. What's wrong? Up, down, select. Let's remove the down portion of it, and let's be less ambitious. I'm going to remove. We're also going to remove this code so we don't need the green turned on because right now the green is turning on all the time. Let's make these all low. It might be these need to be active low. Upload. Again, I'll pause it while it uploads. All right. So we're back to having hello screen on our screen. And if I press the down button, we get select. If I press up, it goes up. If I press down, it goes down. Select goes to the left. That's because that one's not 64. All right, let's do one last thing. We are going to make it so that when we push the up arrow, if the text is going to move up, and if we push the down arrow, it's going down. So this is a simple exercise. If you want to take and try it yourself, you're there. But I'm going to write this stepwise. So first thing is we're going to do int y equals 32. That's halfway up the screen. And then when up is triggered, we're going to, before we do anything else to the screen, we're going to take and go y minus minus. And the reason it's minus minus is because 0, 0 is this top quadrant right here. So up is going to subtract, and down is going to add to the y coordinate. I'm going to change this from 5 to y. And then down is going to be y plus plus. That's going to make it go down. I'm going to change this to y. And then let's make this y. It's just going to say the word select. So I'll upload one last time. Again, I'm going to pause it while this uploads. So I now have the program loaded. I'm going to press the down arrow. It goes up. If I press up, it goes up. If I select it, it will just go where it is. Maybe I'll have select reset the position. So the last step would be to go to my select method and y equals 1 equals 32, which is the center of the screen. I'll upload and pause it one last time. So I'm back to hello screen. If I press the down arrow, it goes down, it goes up, it goes up. If I push down, we'll go off the screen. If I press the select button, it'll go back to the middle. So you can see how this could be used for a lot of different things. We could also only accept buttons being pressed occasionally. I'll leave that up to you to get comfortable with how this works. You can sort of see how you'd start building something a little more complicated. But I think our next step is to see about getting the Wi-Fi parts working. So at this point, I'll pause and stop this and start the next video where we'll talk about Wi-Fi.